Hey, sorry, was fixing my lights. How you doing, Cordy? Dorian, thanks for showing up. Alright, we were still doing bonding points, weren't we? That's right, I forgot all about that. And my personal volume's a little high. Let's turn that down. It's blaring my ears out. So I was listening to Cordy last night and she's kind of quiet. Um, let's see here. We will go check out Laura and Eustace and Emma, I think, if I can. I think Laura has 2 points. So we'll start with her. Trying to get everyone above link level 3 is my goal. I don't know if I'll be able to or not, but that's what I'm going to try and do. Where the heck is Laura? Oh, okay, she's around here. Am I just blind? Yeah, she's up by the mansion. Yeah, I'm blind. Turns out. Which is all good. You know, I'm okay with being blind. Even the air here feels clean. It's not hard to see why Jan Cafe, I guess that's how you pronounce that, is so fond of this village. I hope that I'll get the chance to bring Father and Klaus here one day. We'd be happy to have them. And don't worry, I'm sure you'll have plenty of chances once the war is over. I hope so. I suppose that's another reason for us to hasten its conclusion. But I'm still at a loss how, though. What should we do, I wonder? She's definitely racking her brain over this. Maybe a break would do her good. Why don't we go somewhere and take a break? It's good to take a breather sometimes when you're stuck on a difficult problem. Yeah, we call that procrastination where I'm from. That sounds reasonable. In that case, I'd like to ask you a favor. Would you escort me to your room? That's a loaded question. What? So this is your bedroom. The decor has something of an Eastern feel to it, fitting for a former student of cafes. Is there anything here that's particularly representative of the Eight Leaf School? I should have known. You caught me off guard when you asked to see my room, but it figures that's what you were interested in. Why would you be surprised? Oh, it's nothing. As for your question, I don't have all that much, I'm afraid. Wait, actually, I have some tea leaves the master gave my dad a while back, I think. How about it? You up for having some green tea? Really? I'd like that very much. This is quite a refined taste indeed. It isn't my first time tasting green tea. Monica let me sample some tea served at her class's tea house during the festival. But this seems to have more depth to its flavor and fragrance. Master is a huge fan of this kind. Apparently, he brought it back from the East himself. He's always bringing gifts whenever he comes to visit, so he's popular among the locals. Everyone here likes him. Really now. I've yet to have the opportunity to meet him in person, but I can see why he and Father get along so well. Would you happen to know where he is now? Nope, afraid not. That letter I received from him during our vacation here didn't specify. He's always been something of a vagrant. He wanders the continent throughout the year, stopping off wherever he pleases. So while I couldn't tell you where he is, I'm sure he's just fine. I imagine so. If rumor is to be believed, he is as proficient with a blade as Father, if not more so. Are you worried about your dad? I am. I try to avoid admitting it publicly, but it's a fact. His skill is as immense as ever, but given the various new weapons that have come into play during this war, along with other powerful warriors such as the general and that knight from Ouroboros, yeah, I can't blame you for being a little concerned under the circumstances. I don't know why she's worried about that knight. We whipped her butt pretty easy. Still, all I can do in the meantime is keep going and do what we're able. So long as we keep that up, I'm sure we'll be reunited with them in due time. Maybe. No, you're right. In a sense, this is but another trial we must overcome to reach greater heights. Yeah, and I know we can overcome it, so long as we're together. And to think I only have 3 more mushy points to get through. Yay! Yeah, 1 more might push her up to level 4. Maybe. That tea was delicious. Thank you for allowing me to join you. Incidentally, Toval mentioned that you used to train somewhere deep into the mountains. Is that true? Yeah, the Isengard range. Wait, don't tell me you're planning on going up there on your own. Well, after that break, I feel like doing something more active. Walk in the crisp, snowy mountains should clear my mind just perfectly. I wouldn't mind a mountain walk. If you're really that interested, I can show you the way there. Would you? I'd be very grateful. Then we should set out at once. Together, Reen and Laura climbed the Ymir mountain path, their destination being the canyon above. Soon enough, they had arrived in the area where Reen once trained under his master. Whew, I wasn't expecting the climb to be quite so lengthy. Or that far, really. You conducted your training a remarkable distance from Ymir for one so young. Yeah, we spent about a month living up here away from civilization. We trained almost every day, but even when I wasn't training, he was teaching me how to live side by side with nature. We had to catch our own food, secure a place to sleep every night. Sometimes we even challenged monsters as practice. Oh my, that does sound rather harsh. You were just a boy at the time of your training, yes? I can't fault it, however. The Arseid school does have similar practices. Even when I was a child, I would often join the students in training in the mountains. I'm not surprised to hear that the Arseid school's training right up there with the 8 Leaves. I made it through in one piece, but I was completely exhausted by the end. Elise was really worried about me. She wouldn't stop crying when I'd finally come back home. That's not hard to picture. After taking a look at the scenery, there's no doubt in my mind that training here would be a valuable exercise. Yeah, it certainly was. Standing up here, being surrounded by nature, serves as a reminder of just how small and insignificant we really are. I suppose you could say the same about our swords in this war. Sorry, Laura, I'm not following. No matter how much its wielder trains, realistically, a mere swordsman stands no chance against a force of tanks or soldats. That being the case, what significance do swords even have in this war? I've been pondering this a lot lately, and I still haven't reached an answer. Are you kidding me? You guys took out like 3 of them without the stupid armor. I say stupid armor, but it's not stupid. That's a good question. And yet, when I look around at the vast mountains surrounding us, I feel like I've been liberated from those worries. It wasn't just because she was a skilled warrior that the Lance Maiden was able to end the war of her time. That played a role, certainly, but she must have possessed numerous other qualities that contributed. Yeah, that's true. And in the same way, I'm sure there's a role that swords can play in ending this war too, even if they can't do it alone. My thoughts exactly. We simply have to find it, and as a class I know we will. Yeah, I love how much they doubt themselves, even after they beat up those soldats, but without the use of the Ashen Knight. They've beat up a tank before, I mean, it's just, come on guys. Have a little faith. Well, I don't know what her big deal is either. I mean, she's so worried that the skills that she's learned and honed aren't going to be useful. It's like, we've taken out tanks before. Why are you so worried about this? Let's see, we also want to go visit, I think, Machias and Eustace. Machias isn't going to let me, is he? Nope, it'll have to be Eustace and Laura, or not Laura, but Eustace and Emma. Emma's in the tavern, so we'll go there. Emma. That noble was working on something in the plaza yesterday. She said she was improving her fishing tackle or something. She's pretty weird for a noble. Oh, that must be Annabelle. Yeah, I should totally go check out Annabelle in a little bit. It's so wonderful to be back with Celine again. Now I can focus on how we should act from here on out. Not that that will be a particularly easy decision. Yeah, we are glad to have you weighing in on the matter, though. Oh, I just remembered. There's something I need to buy from the shop in the village. Oh? I can't tell you what it is, I'm afraid. It's a secret. I have no idea what she's talking about, but she sure looks happy about it. Okay, now I'm getting curious. I know Celine's not allowed, but do you mind if I join you with your shopping? If it's okay, I mean. I know the shop here pretty well, so I might be able to help you find whatever it is you're looking for. Yeah. And most of the characters with swords usually end up dominating tanks and soldats and pretty much everything, so I don't get why she's all bent up on it, because the strongest people are swordsmen. Really? That would be lovely. But you've got to stay here, Celine. Rena and I can handle this on our own, so don't even try to follow us. Fine, whatever. All this secrecy is creeping me out anyway. Reen and Emma left a slightly sulky Celine behind and took off to the store to buy whatever it was Emma was searching for. Here we go. The color looks just right, too. That's wool, right? I didn't know you could knit. I used to do it quite often back home, actually. I've been working on a scarf with Celine for a while now, as a sort of reunion present. It's almost done, too, but I ran out of wool, so I came here to buy some more. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be a common problem for Reen, is that he needs to be told what to do, and that's why it kind of surprises me that he's the center of, everyone looks up to him. And it's just like, really? In that case, why not finish it in our living room? That way you should be able to work on it without her finding out about the surprise. That sounds like an excellent idea. Thank you, Reen. After showing Emma to the mansion's living room, Reen decided to sit and accompany her as she worked. The both of them enjoyed a soothing warmth of the fire. I made some tea, Emma. Wow, that looks great so far. Why, thank you, Reen. I think this deep blue color will really suit her personality. Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to see how it'll look when it's done. Huh, it's nice to see how close the two of you are. Close? Do you really think so? She's certainly important to me, but at the same time, she's not exactly pleasant to me most of the time either. I don't think she means any harm by it. Don't tell her that I said this, but she was really worried about you the whole time we were separated. I know for a fact that she cares about you, even if she has a tough time putting it into words. Really? Thanks for telling me. We've been together since the day I was born, but I guess I still have a hard time reading her. Once I began training to become a full-fledged witch, she became my familiar. So in a sense, she's like a sister to me. Really, I'm kinda jealous. As far as siblings go, it's like you two can be completely open with one another. But when it comes to Elise and I always find myself holding back from saying what I'm really thinking. You say that, but I'm sure Celine is still keeping plenty of things from me. I can certainly be more open with her than I can with Vita, though, at least. If you don't mind me asking, how are the two of you related anyway? You said it was something of a sister to you when you first found out her true identity? She's a sister in the sense that we're both trained to become witches together. I always admired and looked up to her, both for her skills in witchcraft and her beautiful voice. Even now, I feel like I'll never be able to catch up to her in terms of raw talent. I see. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. All you can do is keep trying, really. I suppose. One thing's for certain, you won't be able to catch up with her in a day. You didn't learn how to knit that scarf in a day, right? That took time. Catching up to Vita shouldn't feel any different. All you can do is keep trying to better yourself. When you put it that way, you have a point. Thank you for the encouragement, Reen. I feel a lot better now. Eventually, Emma finished knitting the scarf and promptly delivered it to Celine. While she may not have put it in words, it was obvious from her purring that she was very pleased. Reen and Emma reached like level 3. Can I get her? I know it ain't gonna push her up to 4, but at least it'll get her closer. I'm so glad Celine ended up liking the scarf after all, even if she is still too embarrassed to wear it. I'm not embarrassed. I'm just distraught that you wasted your time and energy making something for me. Make sure you get some rest now, okay? I will. They're so happy together. There's gotta be some place where we can unwind together. In that case, why don't the three of us head out to the foot bath? We've got more than enough time, and it's a great place to relax. Oh, so that does sound like a good idea. Inviting a cat to take a bath? Yeah, I'll pass, thanks. Suit yourself, Celine. We'll see you later then. Ah, this feels wonderful. Celine was right. About what? She'd mentioned how the hot springs of Ymir have the ability to promote mana recovery for those who use them. Perhaps it's due to there being a spirit vein nearby, giving them the protection of the spirits. Really, that's interesting. It's a shame Valmar can't jump in here with us then. That's very true. Oh. Her glasses fogged. That's funny. Emma, your glasses have fogged up, you know. Oh, oops, I forgot to take them off. You didn't need to get that worked up about it. Although, come to think of it. What is it? You're staring an awful lot. Oh, sorry, it's just something that's been bugging me for a while. Your eyesight isn't really all that bad, is it? You noticed? Things get a little blurry, but it's not a major issue if I use a little witchcraft to compensate. Thought so. You weren't wearing them for our concert, but your choreography was still dead on. But why wear them if you don't need them? In a sense, they're symbolic of a witch's way of life. A witch must carry out their duties while nestled in the shadows of history. Reveal your true nature, and you risk straying from the witch's burden, and becoming swayed by basic emotion. Grandmother always said to me, ever since I was a little girl. That's funny. I always pictured your grandmother as this friendly old lady, but it sounds like she's actually pretty strict. She has to be, really. She's both the Hexen clan's elder and a very powerful witch, so she has the responsibility to guide us in all we do. Both Vita and I were scolded by her fairly often during our training. Yeah, I can see that now. But then one day, Vita broke a taboo and vanished from the village. Grandmother seemed to want to find her and punish her for what she did. But as for me, all I want to do is talk with her, find out what made her do such a thing. If I could just learn that. Sorry, Emma. What are you apologizing for? But, you know, sometimes I wonder if I'm being too naive when it comes to Vita. Even still, I'd like to think I've grown at least a little. Maybe it's about time I stop wearing these glasses too. I couldn't tell you why, but wearing them somehow makes me feel like I'm always keeping secrets from all of you. Which one? You don't have to, or not wearing them would suit you? Anybody have any opinion? Give it a few seconds in case everyone's lagging behind. Anybody? Let's see, who's actually in here at the moment? We have Dorian and Cordy. It's the only names that I recognize. The other ones look like bots or lurkers, so... First is passive. Is that the one you would prefer? Alright, so second or first? Try the second. Alright, we will go with the second. If that's what you want to do, I say go ahead and do it. I think going without them would really suit you personally. Really? Still, whether you choose to wear them or not, and whether you're a witch or not for that matter, you're still the same Emma we always loved. Don't forget that. Thanks, Reen. That's such a sweet thing to say. I'm just hoping it gives extra bonding points. After that, they both remained at the footbath and continued whiling away the time with a pleasant chatter. Nah, still only gave me 500, so it was probably a neutral choice. And she put them back on. Why are you still wearing your glasses? I don't think I can take them off either. Nope, I can't. Oh well. She didn't even stop wearing them. See how that worked out? And up next is Eustace. I really don't like Eustace. I really don't. But I will have to use him later, so I need to bump his up. Right? Oh, that was Gaius. Why am I going to see Gaius? Eustace, he's in the Phoenix Wings. My bad. Well, let's see. What is Gaius's link status? Gaius is 3 already. Eustace is 2. So yeah, definitely Eustace. Deciding what our class should do has proven more difficult than expected. Still, I left Briarheart so that I could make my own decisions about my life. I'll make this one for myself too. Even if the decision is yours, the burden doesn't have to be. House Oberea's problems concern every single one of us. There's no reason you need to sort all this out on your own. We've been with you this long. That's not going to change. Huh. Thank you, but I'm aware. I bet a break would help him clear his mind and make better decisions. Should I drag him into one? Sure. Hey, wanna come look after Arthur with me for a bit? Who in blazes is Arthur? Oh, is that the name of our family's horse? Got it in one. Since you're kind of a horse expert, I'd really appreciate it if you could help me out with him for a bit. Why not? I'd like to see him for myself. Lead on. This is a fine horse. It has a strong air of dignity about it, much like the young horses back at the academy. Yeah, he does. He's pretty friendly too, isn't he? He's been here since Dad took me in, so he's getting up there in years. But he's still got the same energy. Dad still takes him out hunting along with... I see. I imagine his dignified appearance is a result of much experience then. He does appear to be in dire need of some exercise, however. His muscles aren't quite as defined as they should be. Wow, I'm amazed you could tell. You're not in the riding club for nothing. He hasn't had much a chance to get out since Dad was injured, so that's probably why. Then, if we can, I'd like to do something about that. What do you say? What do you say to giving him a good brushing before we take him out? I think he'd like that a lot, actually. After brushing Arthur and giving him all the care and adoration a horse could dream of, Ring and Eustace took him out on the mountain path. He seems really happy to be out of the village. It's been quite a while since he last had the chance. So it appears. I imagine they would rather go out hunting with his master, however. Horses are always far more comfortable with their usual rider. My family and the riding clubs are no exception. That makes sense, but with Dad's injuries, I don't think he'll be fit to go out hunting anytime soon. Speaking of the riding club, do you have any clue what's going on back at Thor's? You were the one who managed to get the bike out of there, so I figure you might know something. Mind you, that I was only able to do so through the Noble Alliance. I tried to make use of my position as a member of House Alborea as best I could. Unfortunately, my authority pales in comparison to Father Rufus's, so I'm afraid that was the most I could do. That's a shame. Still, I appreciate you trying. I really do owe you a lot, even for little things like helping me look after Arthur. I hardly think I deserve your thanks. Being my father's son, some of the responsibility for his disgraceful actions fall on my shoulders as well. I have a duty to do all within my power to atone for that to both Baron Schwarzer and Ymir's people. I'm sure my brother feels similarly, even if he appears to be prioritizing his role in the Civil War at the moment. Like I said back in Briarhard, there's no reason for you to feel responsible for what happened here. I understand that you're concerned about your father and your brother, but dwelling on the past benefits no one. All we can do is keep moving forward. You do have a point. No burden out there exists that you should have to shoulder alone. Not as long as you're a member of Class 7. As long as we're together, we'll be able to carry the weight of any burden. One would think I'd be used to how our class works by now. And the Imperial nobility should show its spirit through actions over words. Exactly. We both know what we need to do, and we swore it to one another when we fought the moment you came back to us. Indeed, and I fully intend to do as I promised. Alright, is that going to push him up over too? The two continued walking along the path with Arthur a little longer, then eventually turned and descended the mountain. Of course, upon their return to Ymir, they gave him a generous helping of food before going back to the Phoenix Wings. Alright. Alright, who's poking at me? I just got poked. Let's see. Alright. Nothing important. And I only get one meeting with him. Oh, I'm out. Okay, that's why. And is my CP full? No, it's only at 100, so we'll go ahead and rest. So this is another thing. Resting in the Phoenix Inns replenishes all of your CP, which is nice. So go ahead and take care of that. I'll be visiting the Phoenix Wings a lot later, because it just makes it so easy when you're getting ready to go into a big battle to already have everything full. Alright. Now we continue on with the story, which, to do that, we have to do it from the mansion. So, go to the mansion. Actually, let's go to the footbath real quick. I think Annabelle was out here somewhere. That's not Annabelle. Where are you at, Annabelle? There's people up there. There's people over there. Is she over there, maybe? No, that is Claire and Milliam. Alright, the snow path. I should probably do this before I go too. You can play course A3. Alright, level 3. Time to beat is 58 seconds and 18 flags. Yeah, that's right. Trying to remember how the controls worked. I should have hit that. I'm surprised the game gave me that. This reminds me of that old game 1080. That snowboarding game. The controls were kind of clunky like this in that game too. I must have missed one somewhere. Huh.
I did it!
Oh well, I cleared it, so that's all that matters. Nice work. That was an expert level course too. Well, here's your prize. Go ahead and take it. Passion Leggings. Oh, and take this too. It's a new board that's got real popular among the youngsters. Select board on the course menu is now available. The difference between boards is purely cosmetic, so feel free to choose a board based on preference. And I'll be sure to keep the courses maintained if you feel like boarding again. Just come by. I certainly will. See you then. I was thinking the boards would be better, but oh well. What's that equip do? Passion Leggings. 25 strength, 25 defense, prevents freeze. Let's see. Start plus 25, strength plus 25, CP recovery rate plus 60%. This is 2 CP every turn. I like the 25 extra damage and defense. Well, we'll do that for now. And is Annabelle actually around anywhere, or did she run off? Maids. That kid was talking about her. That's the dog, the horse. Alright, we will bring her, him, Fee. For my normal crew, Milliam, so I have someone that can do a heart attack, and then Sarah, I guess, because I haven't done anything with Sarah yet. Is Annabelle up here? I do not see her. Oh well. I only wanted to come out here so I could see if Annabelle was here, but no big thing. Checking the Phoenix Wings, maybe? Handful of people. I think these are my people, though. Sarah, and then Annabelle's the one that does the fishing stuff when Kevin isn't available. So I was hoping to get some extra stuff from him, but I guess not. So we'll just go to the mansion and call it good for now. Not gonna keep running around looking for her. Why would he go back to his room when they have a meeting at noon? I've still got some time left before the meeting starts. Maybe I should go get some rest. Well, I'm out of bonding points, so that's probably the thing to do. Eventually, the clock struck 12. One by one, Class 7 began to make their way to the Phoenix Wings cafeteria. And once they had all gathered, they jumped right into discussing what they were going to do from that point forward. Should get at least an A.
Oh, you an upper rank.
Cool. Give me a cool
Here's
item.
A little something from the guild.
Dragon Vein, whatever. Braveheart, that might be good.
Nice work.
What grade do I get?
You did all right, I guess.
Oh, I missed 2 hidden quests? That sucks. Jeez. Guess I should try harder next time.
I've thought long and hard about it, and I think we as a class need to find a third way. A path of our own, separate from the ones the reformist and noble factions are taking.
A third way, you say? I do agree. It wouldn't feel quite right for us to directly support either side.
But we both know that we're going to directly support the Imperial side.
True. We might be military academy students, but we're still students.
Involving ourselves in a civil war isn't something we should take lightly.
Keeping in mind that these students, all of these students here, are basically an army upon themselves. I mean, seriously, they're like some of the strongest people in the damn
We
game.
might have a divine knight on our side, but we're still going to need to be very careful how we proceed.
Whatever we do, Valimar will certainly be at the center.
No doubt. We've all seen how powerful the Divine Knights are. If we use them right, we can intervene in the war as much as we want.
They're quite literally beings of legend. However, his potential influence on the war is...
1 second, need to clear notification. There we go.
What are we gonna do then? Even if we agree on not siding with either of the factions, I'm pretty sure each of us have different stuff we want to do. And different things that we have to do too.
Yeah, that's true. For my part, I need to rescue Elise and Princess Alphen from the Noble Alliance's clutches. Whether it's alone or with you guys, it's something I'll do.
There's no way you'll be alone for that. We're with you all the way. I'm concerned about Dad too, what with them having him under arrest.
I still can't get in contact with Fiona either. I'm glad I was able to see Dad, but I'm worried about her.
For me, I'm worried about Ruhr as a whole. It's a huge relief to see you're alright, Sharon, but Mother's still unaccounted for.
I'm sorry I can't do more to comfort you, my lady.
And I have no idea where Father's been for the past month. I'm certain he must be well, but all the same.
We're all worried about our families, I see. Hopefully, we can find some information on all of them before the fighting gets any more fierce.
I'm certainly not worried about the safety of mine. Although, suffice it to say, if we choose to intervene in the war, conflict with them is all but inevitable.
That goes for Zeno and Leo too. They've been hired by the Noble Alliance, so I'd say it's likely we'll run into them in the future.
Plus, Emma and I still need to talk to Vita to see what exactly she's trying to do. To figure out what's so important to her that she was willing to break a taboo to do it. That's true.
Whatever you decide to do, you'll have my full support. Just as the warriors of Nord did 250 years ago, I'm determined to fight to protect my second homeland, and those who live within it.
Oh, same! We can do this!
You have a direct interest in this, Millium. You're frickin' Imperial military.
I can back him up, right, Claire?
How could I say no? I have my own duties to take care of as part of the Railway Military Police, but I fully intend to support all of you with everything I have.
I'm thinking it's about time I return to helping the guild, actually. But I'll still be in touch with Sarah, so I'm sure I can lend a hand or two anytime you need it.
Naturally, I'd be overjoyed to continue serving as your dormitory's caretaker.
I'm your instructor, so you're stuck with me to the very end. Whatever you choose to do, you'll have my support.
Which is kind of funny, because she should be the one in charge.
You're going to need to decide on a more specific course of action, though. Resolving to find a third way is a start, but only a start. It also leaves plenty of questions that need to be answered on top of it all.
Well, then how about this? Let's figure out right now whether or not we want to keep using Ymir as our base of operations.
Just so we're clear on this, there's a limit to how many people can use the spirit path at any one time. And with as many people as we have now, I'm not sure how useful it's going to be at this point.
We could commandeer a railway.
And we're limited on how frequently we can use it.
Oh, right.
But we're also just as limited on where we can go otherwise. We haven't exactly been the most subtle group around. Who's to say we could even operate elsewhere?
An astute point. The Noble Alliance will no doubt be even more wary of us than before.
In the end, no matter what we decide, we lose.
Indeed. Yet we're short on time, so a decision must be made now.
There's gotta be something that only we can do.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I know it exists. And I'm sure that we'll find it. The best thing we can do now is keep talking things out until we find a way. There's no point in rushing into a decision.
Well, doesn't this look fun?
Hey, Vita.
Mind if I join in?
Sure.
What in the world?
It couldn't be.
Vita?
It's lovely to see you again, Emma. You were finally able to reunite with all of your classmates. I'm happy for you. Really, I am. The goddess was on your side after all, hmm?
Cut the crap, Vita. Have you been listening in all this time? Where are you?
I'm not far at all. Listen closely now.
That sounds just like... Is that...
It's coming from above us!
Well, you think they're making a point?
Isn't that the Noble Alliance Force's flagship?
What's the Pantagruel doing here?
Damn it! I didn't think she'd tell the rest of their army where we were.
But why now?
Why? Because our preparations are finally complete.
Vita!
Vita, you're here. Yes, I am here, in the flesh. Good day to you all, Class 7. As nice as it would be to finally give you a hug, Emma, I wouldn't want to keep our guest of honor waiting any longer. So, without further ado...
Can't be. Isn't that...
The Azure Knight. Crow.
Long time no see, guys. Sorry for dropping in on you like this, but I'm sure you know the drill by now. You ready to have some fun?
Is that really you, Crow?
There's no doubt about it.
See. You damn terrorist. Come on!
Right! Heed my call! Valimar!
Acknowledged.
I'm not gonna lose this time, because at the end of the day, he's just an obstacle that needs to be overcome. So lend me your power, Valimar!
Very well. Use my power as you see fit.
You've really taken to piloting since your last encounter, haven't you? I was hoping you would, and you didn't let me down. You boys have so much potential. But potential is only that. Potential. And you, Rean, might want to reevaluate just how many obstacles need overcoming.
Well, Blue Blanc and the Knight aren't really anything worth worrying about. Neither is the White Rabbit.
This is bad.
Aren't those the Alliance's allies?
Long time no see, kiddos. You doing all right, Fee?
I see the purple lightning has joined your ranks.
Zeno. Leo.
Zephyr!
And a few members of Ouroboros, too. Guess all the big guys wanted a piece of us today.
And look, Sammy's here too.
kindly stop referring to Clown Soleus with that bizarre nickname?
Ah, it's such a pleasure to visit this wintry wonderland once again.
Oh, it's a pleasure, all right. The time for my long-awaited revenge has finally come. Now you shall pay!
It's only been 2 days since you first fought them, you know.
This could pose a problem. Why send so many powerful allies here? And all at once?
You've proven to be rather formidable adversaries after all. It wouldn't do to underestimate you.
Rufus!
I'm pleased to see you all again, ladies and gentlemen of Class 7. As for you, dear brother, I was told that you'd run away from home. It does my heart good to see you safe and sound. So, you've finally gathered up the will to make the difficult choices life set at your feet, I presume. Even if those choices place you in my line of fire?
Yes, I have.
Can't believe he's shown up too.
The Noble Alliance is pulling out all the stops to finally get rid of us, aren't they?
I mean,
Rean, we'll take care of everything here.
between Claire, Sarah, Toval, and Sharon, I mean, they should be fine.
You and Valimar have your own battle to fight.
Are you sure?
We're in for a real brawl out here, but a guy couldn't ask for better opponents.
Leave the battle on the ground to us.
We've no intention of backing down without a fight. Wait, Sharon! I know they're all strong, but still.
Well, what do you say we get started?
Here he comes!
I'm impressed. You managed to hold your own better than I expected you to. It's only been a month or so, but you've really grown as an Awakener, Rean.
Well, it's hard to go through the kinds of things I have without growing from the experience. And now that I've done all that, I'm going to be the one who takes you down.
No, you're not. I said you could hold your own, not that you could win. Remember, there's still a 3-year gap's worth of experience between us. And it's time you realize just how much of an impact that gap has.
That's enough, Crow!
You know,
Do they really stand a chance?
could you guys help?
Well, they're putting up a good fight so far, but...
Yeah, it's not looking good. They're outnumbered, for one thing.
Then it's time we lent them our aid.
Agreed. Weapons at the ready, guys.
Always in a rush, aren't you? Stay right where you are. I'll serve as your opponent today.
You will?
Trying to stop us from joining in?
I'd rather our intrusion cause as little inconvenience as possible for the people of this village. I'll let you make the first move. It's been quite some time since I last instructed you in fencing uses. I look forward to seeing how you've improved.
Wow.
His guard's perfect.
Stay alert. Rufus is a master of court fencing. We'll need to put all we have into this battle to even stand a chance against him.
Yeah, he's really not that good, actually.
I would have it no other way.
Alright, so these guys, and then her for a power hitter, and her, I guess.
Show me what you're capable of.
Okay.
Alright, who are we linked with? Yeah, it's not a bad link. Let's just start with an attack.
Right.
Ah, he has some HP, don't he? Impede and burn.
To flames.
That missed? Huh. Resounding beat.
Keep it up, everyone.
Get our healing over time going and defense up.
My turn.
Noble command should give everyone strength.
Leave it to me.
Oh, like.
Okay.
Alright, so let's go ahead and just smack him.
Here I go.
Should be able to do around 15,000 each with the boosts I've got going. I don't know, we'll see. 14, not too bad. I probably shouldn't have used his now that I think about it. He's the one that heals. That was dumb. Oh well.
Seventh Rhapsody. You've been a wonderful audience.
6, that's it? Well, I was certainly hoping for better than that.
Charging orbital energy. Judgment arrow.
Wow, you guys are some light sauce hitters. I'm surprised that's as low as it is.
Your end is sure.
Yeah, you all suck.
My turn.
The only one of you out of any of you that's decent is frickin' Fee.
Arcus, activate. No problem.
Oh, I thought she had something else. Whoops. Oh well.
It's my turn.
Is he the one with impassion? Oh, he's muted. Well, that's fun.
My turn.
Oh, he can use his arts, but that's okay because he has dark matter and aerial.
Arcus, activate.
I'll handle it.
Let's see. Yeah, we'll keep you attacking. You missed? Jeez.
I'll handle it.
Still doesn't have enough power. Why do you keep missing? You're doing terrible, Fee. You're gonna wait and save power.
Arcus, activate.
Okay.
You're gonna wait and save power.
Too slow.
3 grand, not too bad.
Very well.
He gets free arts, so we'll do another arrow. Unless he has a really good support art, he doesn't. So another aerial. Always take free arts if you can.
Okay.
Can you finally do something else? No, not yet. Slow him down, he's bugging me.
Here I go.
It's my turn.
Ah, good, he couldn't resist.
No problem.
Seriously, you're gonna have to do better than that.
My turn. Show your strength.
Begin.
Divine lightning!
What? I should have been paying attention.
Everyone.
Show your strength.
It's this is a but thou must die moment. I'm glad I didn't put a proxy puppet on her again.
No.
That would have sucked. But thou must die.
Well, I won't deny that was an entertaining diversion. But you do well to intensify your training regimen if you hope to best me.
How is he so strong?
You didn't stand a chance.
He might even be stronger than Sarah.
Are you guys okay?
Hey, you really think you've got time to be worrying about them? You ain't getting out of this one, Green.
All right, bring it on! It's time to settle this, Crow!
Bring it on!
This'll be a tough one. Be careful.
I don't have any links this time. That's a shame. Let's see. Trying to remember in this stance. Head, maybe? Nope. Body. Yep, it's body.
Think you can handle this?
Yeah, I think I'll be alright.
Gotcha! Eat this! Gotcha! Hope you're ready.
Alright, this stance is head, I think. Nope.
Darkness. Clean. Gotcha.
This is bad.
Bring it on. Is that all? Let's go. Gotcha. Let's go. Gotcha.
Oh, it's not gonna let me store 4 points. Damn it.
Think you can handle this?
So the arms will unbalance him. Nope. Ouch. Stop it.
Gotcha. Hope you're ready.
This is bad.
Bring it on. Darkness. Clean. Gotcha.
This is where he beats me. This is a pre-set up battle too. You can't win it either.
Are you okay?
Settled enough for you?
You didn't even bother to use that trump card of yours.
He wasn't even trying last time, then was he?
Come on. With the way you are now, I don't even need to try. I'll always win. And that ring perfectly illustrates just how massive the gulf between us is. Maybe you think you've had it tough up till now, but you're gonna need to go through a hell of a lot more if you want to even the odds.
I see the battle here has come to an end.
Oh, hey, Vita.
I can't help but feel a little bummed that everything went exactly as I thought it would. Still, it just goes to show how much faith I have in your skills, my sweet Azure Chevalier.
Funny, I don't recall ever becoming yours. How's everything up top?
I think it's only a matter of time before the battle is decided. But we've caused enough trouble for the people of Ymir already. It's about time we brought this to a close. Finestrum Phantasma. Window.
My apologies for not coming down to speak with you in person, ladies and gentlemen of Thor's Military Academy. You know who I am, of course, but I am Duke Cayenne, ruler of the Lemaire province and supreme leader of the Noble Alliance.
Duke Cayenne?
So even the big guy himself is here.
We must have been some threat then.
I must say, what a curious group we have here. I heard as much, but allow me to extend my most heartfelt congratulations. My expectations have thoroughly been exceeded. When I saw young Eustace and Laura in Legram earlier this year, I could never have imagined this is how we would next meet. Oh, I'm sure your parents must have warned you against wandering off with such disreputable individuals on a number of occasions. But I suppose every child thinks that they alone know what is best for themselves.
Is he seriously lecturing them?
Duke Alberea was simply livid about what happened. But it can't hurt to learn more about the outside world,
Every word that leaves his mouth is condescending.
Did you come all the way here just to tell us that?
Don't be silly, child. Reen Schwarzer. I had this meeting arranged because I wanted to speak with you. Perhaps the method was a touch too garish for something so simple, but do forgive me for not formally requesting an audience.
With me?
With you. Allow me to get right to the point. I wish to invite you, Ashen Chevalier, aboard our flagship.
Wait, why?
I've heard all about your magnificent exploits across the land, and so I thought it would be nice to sit down and have a long, pleasant chat with you about the past, the present, as well as your future.
Are you suggesting?
You want Reen to join the Noble Alliance?
Should you accept my invitation, we will withdraw peacefully from Ymir. Furthermore, I give you my personal assurance that we will leave this village alone for the duration of this war. A fine proposition, is it not? Are we interested?
Very well. Allow me to accept your invitation.
Don't be an idiot. This is clearly a trap. They wouldn't come all the way out here and take you into their flagship if it weren't.
I appreciate your concern. A trap or not, this might be a good chance for us, too. I think I'd regret it if I let it pass. Balamar, transport Celine back outside.
Are you certain?
Now hold it right there.
Don't worry about me. The odds were against all of us getting back together, but we did it. And I'm sure we can do it again, too. So just wait with Emma for now. I'll be back before you know it. Balamar, if you would.
Very well.
But wait!
It seems the time has come for us to part ways once again. But remember this. You're an Alberea. There is power and dignity in that name, to whatever end you would use it. I want you to prove that the convictions you cling to are worthy of your loyalty. Not for my benefit, but for yours.
Wait!
Lord Rufus!
Well met, Lord Schwarzer. It's a pleasure to see you again. Allow me to extend my apologies for the harm my father visited upon this town and its people.
Never mind that. What do you intend to do with my son? And what is a promising young man like yourself?
We're simply going to borrow young Reen for a short while. There's nothing to worry about. I'm a busy man these days, though, so for now, I bid you adieu.
They all finally got back together, too. Why?
Sorry, but I'll be back, I promise. So stay safe.
Reen!
Reen!
Cool, did I go to level 4 with everyone? No. What a shame. Ah, shoot, I shouldn't have done that. Alright, guess I'm stuck here for the moment. Just gonna go get a drink real quick and take a few seconds, but I guess I can wait.
So this is what Duke Cayenne looks like from up close.
Yep.
It's hard to believe that I've ended up in the same room as the leader of the Noble Alliance. Although, I guess we did meet back in Legram before the war broke out.
Reen Schwarzer. Truth be told, we don't want this war to drag on any more than you do.
Really?
We only acted as we did due in part to our dearly departed Chancellor's behavior being far too unreasonable to justify turning a blind eye. He garnered the trust of His Majesty, and in turn misused that trust. He flagrantly disregarded this nation's beloved culture and traditions, treating Erebonia as if it were his own personal property. Surely you too noticed this.
Well, I can't say I disagree. We did hear story after story during our field studies about how aggressive his policies were. About the way he didn't care how many enemies he made as a result, creating terrorist groups like the Imperial Liberation Front.
But as I said, the cause of our nation's ills is now gone. Now, all that remains is to turn back the hands of time just a touch, and the good old days of the Empire will be upon us once more. The key to this bright future lies in putting aside our differences and joining hands. Am I wrong?
I'm afraid that yes, you are. Do you honestly believe that people can so easily put aside their differences after all the Alliance has done? You occupied Heimdall and effectively took every one of its citizens hostage, imprisoned the Imperial family. And let's not forget how you're now in league with the enemy nation responsible for the destruction of Garrelia Fortress. After all that, the Imperial army would never bow their heads to the likes of you, even if the rest of the population did.
My word, I'm afraid there's been a terrible misunderstanding. The Imperial family is simply under our loving protection. They certainly haven't been imprisoned. But that does bring me to exactly why I want you to help us.
It does?
The Azure Knight is already on our side. But if we had your Ashen Knight as well, that would mean we'd have two of the great knights of Erebonian legend to put into play. Couple them with our Panzer Soldats, and the Imperial Army's armored divisions would cower before us. You may not find us winning the war ideal, but this union benefits everyone more than carrying on until our inevitable victory,
I don't think it's that simple.
I beg to differ. The presence of Soldats units on a battlefield makes a tremendous difference. What they may lack in firepower and armor compared to tanks, they make up for in mobility and versatility. But more important than even those factors is the psychological impact they have on our opponents.
Well...
We're only human. As such, we are as captivated as we are terrified of giant beings bearing human form. And if that holds true even for mass-produced soldats made with modern technology, it will be all the more true for the divine knights of legend you and Crow possess.
Can't argue with that logic.
I will say it once more. Gileath Osborne is dead. And with his death, all that's left to be done is end this ridiculous war and return order to the Empire. Only then will everything be as it should. That includes both your pleasant academy life and the peaceful days of darling Elise and her friend the princess.
Are you trying to?
Whatever you ultimately decide, their safety is guaranteed. I would ask that you promise him this, if nothing else, Your Grace.
But of course, I'm not a monster.
Yes, you are.
Rufus.
We may stand on opposite sides of this conflict, but I still sit on Thor's board of directors. And in that capacity, I suggest you consider carefully the choice before you. After all, every soldier must decide for himself whether a cause is worth fighting, perhaps even dying for. I look forward to hearing your answer.
Please come with us, Master Rean. We will escort you to the guest room. Food and refreshments will be provided for you there. You know, for a warship, this thing is awfully freaking gaudy, isn't it? Yes, on my warship, I absolutely love having a crystal chandelier in the middle. It's ever so fabulous. Alright, I am actually going to stop right here for just a minute and take a break. I will be right back shortly. Alright, I'm back.
All that's left to be done is end this ridiculous war and return order to the Empire.
I agree, let's end it. So you surrender, and then we won't have to beat you up.
Only then will everything be as it should.
Clearly with the nobles in charge.
That includes both your pleasant academy life and the peaceful days of darling Elise and her friend the princess.
I suggest you consider carefully the choice before you. After all, every soldier must decide for himself whether a cause is worth fighting, perhaps even dying for.
Nice threat you got there,
I look
Rufus.
forward to hearing your answer.
It's hard to argue that this war began because the noble faction went too far. But the longer it goes on, the more people are going to suffer. Am I really okay with that? If I join them, I could reduce the number of victims, be friends with Crow again, free Elise and Princess Alphen.
It's kind of selfish, isn't it?
No, this isn't that simple. Think, Rain, think. I was able to reunite with the others, but Elise and Princess Alphen are still in the Alliance's custody. What's the best thing I can do? This isn't just about me. What do all of us want to do?
Keep racking your brain like that and smoke will start coming out of your ears.
Oh, it's him. I don't know why Reen is such a fanboy for him.
What do you want?
Hey now, no need to give me that look. I figured I was gonna find you busy thinking everything over like your life depended on it. But what do you know? I was right.
How about you mind your own damn business? Don't you have better things to do with your time? I figured the glorious Azure Chevalier would be far too busy with the war to be hanging out around here.
It's tough being popular. If you joined us, I could get away with doing half the work I am now. So come on, stop freaking out about it so much and make a choice.
This isn't something I can just decide by flipping a coin, Crow. Besides, it'd probably be an easier choice if not for a certain someone. What's that in your hand, anyway?
Grub, of course. Kinda early, but I brought you your lunch. Mind if I join you?
Hamburgers, fries, and onion rings, huh? I was expecting something more fancy like I had last night.
Oh, that kind of food more your thing? Okay then, give me a minute while I go ask the chef to whip something up.
No, this is fine. The burger looks delicious.
Cool. Alright, dig in.
This tastes kinda different from a normal burger. Oh, no wonder. It's got whitefish in it.
Yeah, they're called fish burgers. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, the tartar sauce makes for an unusual extra flavoring too. Oh. This tastes amazing.
Seriously, you're gonna turn traitor over a dang fish fillet?
I like this way more than the food I had last night, to be honest.
Well, glad to hear it. Guess it was worth putting my cooking skills to the test after all.
Wait, you made this?
Was my first time cooking in a while, too. Sharon could probably do better, though. But I wanted to give it a shot anyway. This stuff was like soul food back in Dry, where I grew up.
Oh.
To think, all the time we spent searching for the leader of the Imperial Liberation Front, and he was right under our noses.
It's a really big gun.
Crow Armbrust from the Jirai SEZ.
Oh, yeah. Vita was using some weird thing of hers to let you see what was going on, wasn't she? So I guess you saw what happened there.
Yeah. Jirai was that special economic zone in the northwest you guys went to during our August field study, too.
We didn't run into anything like that in the Jirai SEZ. So, I guess that makes sense, seeing as it's under the direct control of the Imperial government, not a noble. I seem to recall that it was annexed 8 years ago, is that right? Yeah, the Empire stitched it on nice and neat without much opposition. Now it's prospering as a special economic zone on the coast. Seems like a pretty lively place.
So you ended up going back to your old hometown then?
Yeah, by pure coincidence. It's changed a lot since I was last there, so it was kind of surreal being back again.
Right, you
But
think?
it was nostalgic in its own way, too.
It's been bugging me for a long time now. What could have made you want to join a group of terrorists like the Imperial Liberation Front?
He led it, he didn't join it.
What was it that made you hate Chancellor Osborne that much? Enough to take his life? Tell me, Crow, please. I want to know what it was that made you who you are now. What kind of place Jirai was, how you lived there, and what you were doing before you entered the academy and met Toa, Angelica, and George.
Where's the fun in prying into a guy's past? Save all that talk for your number one in class. Who's the lucky girl anyway? Elisa? Laura? Emma? Fee? And don't tell me it's Milliam, because, you know,
I'm serious, Crow. I really want to know. Think of telling me your past as paying off the interest you owe in that 50 Mira. Because until I know, until we know, we won't be able to move forward.
You're really serious.
Crow?
My past really isn't that big of a deal, you know. It's got nothing on yours, that's for sure. If you find yourself thinking that's all when I'm done, well, I warned you. So, you really want to know?
Yeah. Nothing you say will change my mind. Please, tell me.
All right, you win. Like I said, it's just your run-of-the-mill sob story. Pick up any history textbook and you'll probably find a dozen others just like it. It's the kind of story that's so common no one bothers to remember it, like it never even happened. Back in those days, Jirai was known as Jirai City. It was a city-state off the coast of northwest Zemuria that prospered through maritime trade with West Erebonia, North Ambria, and Remiferia. It had a population of around 150,000 people, so it wasn't exactly a big place or anything. Because of that, the surrounding nations left it alone and let us live out our days in peace. We were pretty fortunate, all things considered. Until about 20 years ago. That was when the North Ambrian disaster struck, and much of the Principality of North Ambria was turned to salt. And as a result, trade on the northwest shore was reduced to virtually nothing. Day after day, Jirai's prosperity started to fade away. Still, it wasn't all bad. We had our fishing, our historic landmarks, our septium mines. We could make use of those to get trade going again, both to keep our state running and to help out North Ambria. In fact, the one who advocated that approach was the mayor, my grandfather. He was the last mayor Jirai City ever had. He was a stubborn old bastard, but he had this wry sense of humor, and was well loved by everyone. I lost my mom and dad early, so he was also my only living relative. He taught me just about everything a guy could know. He was like a mom, dad, and your old master rolled into one, I guess. Anyway, fast forward to 10 years ago. Out of nowhere, we received this proposal from the Erebonian government. They said they wanted to extend a railway line from Heimdall all the way to Jirai. We relied on the sea for trade before, but there wasn't any reason to believe we couldn't benefit from being connected to Heimdall by rail. The proposal drew overwhelming support from the city's council. And as a result, my grandfather was forced to accept. Within a year, the city had all of its old life back and then some. The streets were more bustling than ever. But keep in mind, this was the result of huge amounts of imperial capital flowing into the city. Land and buildings we once treasured were bought up left and right. Everything became a target for investment. People only cared about making money. Something similar supposedly happened in Crossbell too, but unlike there, no opposition existed in Jirai. My grandfather sensed something was off, and he tried what he could to get the situation under control. Then one day, someone blew up the railway line leading to Jirai. Everyone demanded that it be repaired as quickly as possible. Everyone except the Imperial government. Instead, they panned our national security arrangements for being insufficient and threatened to withdraw all Imperial capital. The city was left in an uproar like we'd never seen. Shares plummeted, and with no one able to ascertain the culprit's identity, chaos reigned. That was when he showed up. Chancellor Gileath Osborne, in his 3rd year as representative of the Imperial government, personally came to Jirai. We then received a second proposal.
The restoration of the railway and its future security will be seen to by the Imperial Army. In return for our continued assistance in safekeeping, Jirai will come under the wing of our glorious empire and attain even greater prosperity as a special economic zone.
The timing was too good to be true, really. Realizing this, my grandfather staunchly opposed the idea. He tried everything he could to convince the city's council to reject the offer. Unfortunately, once you taste the sweet fruit of prosperity, it's hard to want to go back. The council, made up of influential merchants and all their greed, jumped at the offer. And tempted by the elimination of customs, together with the tax breaks from being an SEZ, many of the citizens did too. And during all that, they'd conveniently found a suspect behind the railway incident. My grandfather. He loved Jirai more than anyone, and up till then, its people loved him too. And yet, virtually overnight, he found himself facing the wrath of both the city's council and the citizens alike. Left with no choice, he resigned from his position as mayor, and Jirai formally became part of the Empire. Both of these things happened on the same exact day. That was 8 years ago. Naturally, everyone knew my grandfather wasn't the one who did it. They knew who was really responsible. They just turned a blind eye to the truth. See? I warned you.
I'm
Just
so
your
tired
run-of-the-mill
of you.
sob story.
I don't know what to say, Crow.
Shoot him. That's what you should say. You should shoot him.
What happened to him after that? Your grandfather.
One day, he just up and died. Once he resigned, the whole affair with the railway getting blown up was all but forgotten. He lived comfortably in retirement for about half a year, fell ill, and that was that. He just lost the will to go on, I guess.
It's no excuse to go around
Like I
killing
said,
people and starting
he was the
terrorist
only family I
organizations.
I mean, I had plenty of friends even then, but I chose to leave it all behind. I was 13 at the time. I wandered the land, doing whatever I had to get by. That was when I met old Cayenne, who happily indulged my hatred for the Chancellor.
Gosh, this guy is blowing my phone up.
And with his financial backing, I went out with the goal to find others who were just like me. That was the beginning of the Imperial Liberation Front.
Sorry for all the texting, guys. That's actually work related, and it's a gentleman who likes to ask a lot of questions.
Gideon, Scarlet, and Vulcan were among those I recruited. I had also met Vita then. I only knew her as the woman who would often come to see Cayenne. She guided me to a place below the city of Ordis, and there slept the Azure Knight Ordine. One after another, I overcame the same trials you did with your friends, but alone. And once I'd proven myself worthy, Ordine accepted me as his awakener. That was 3 years ago. I was 16. My preparations complete, I concealed my background, and enrolled in a military academy near the capital. Everything I did, I did for the sole purpose of taking the Chancellor's head. Come on now, what's with the face? You look sadder about all this than I do.
Yeah, I guess.
I swear. I'm not trying to tell you the Chancellor was evil or anything.
What?
Still, there's no denying that he managed to outwit my grandfather. And he may have lost, but Pop's always loved a good gamble. It's thanks to him that I'm pretty good at chess, card games, that kind of stuff. I'd say it's fairly normal for a student to want to avenge his master's defeat, wouldn't you?
Maybe.
At the end of the day, there's no denying this country has problems, and the Chancellor's methods were making them worse. I studied those problems, worked out how to use the situation to my advantage, and then won the game with an all-or-nothing gamble. But when you think of how peaceful Jirai is now, I'd say I've got a duty to clear up the mess left behind by my game too, which means ending this war and restoring peace. So it's only when that's done that my game is truly over. I don't want whatever your decision is to be influenced by my past, okay? Like Rufus said, you need to think long and hard about what it is you're fighting for. For you, more than anyone else.
Yeah, but Crow...
Anyway, I think I've stuck around here for long enough. You're gonna be treated as a visitor. Well, sort of. It's about time for the higher-ups to head back to Heimdall, so go ahead and pass the time however you want.
However I want? What else can I even do here?
Isn't that a cute little airship compared to the dang capital?
There'll be no guards outside your room, so if you want to try and escape, be my guest. Just keep in mind that some members of Ouroboros and Zephyr are on board too. Not to mention me, Scarlet, and Vulcan. So if you're up for a gamble of your own, get ready to take all of us on.
Sounds fun.
Oh yeah, one more thing. There's this real cute visitor in the guest of honor's room on the second floor. I think she'd perk right up if she saw you, so why not go pay her a visit? Just don't go making your girl jealous, okay?
Really cute visitor on the second floor.
I wonder who he means. He said she's in the guest of honor's room. Well, I can't waste much time here. I told everyone I'd definitely come back soon. Right now, I need to gather as much information as I can. I can make my choice after that. At least then, it'll be an informed one.
Yep. Alright, give me control. We've been sitting in story mode long enough. Let me save the game because that's the smart thing to do. And the game requires you to visit everyone. Gosh. Alright. Start over here.
I can sense someone inside.
Come on in if you like.
That sounds like...
Scarlet? Yeah, that sounds like Scarlet. Alright, let's hear your sob story.
I heard you came on board yesterday, so I did wonder whether we would run into one another at some point.
Hello, Scarlet. Last time we spoke was a month and a half ago near Trista, I think.
Quite a memorable day for both of us, wasn't it? There's no need to stand over there. Come and have a seat. I'll pour us some tea.
You really don't have to. Well, I guess there's no harm in chatting for a bit.
These tea leaves really are wonderful, aren't they? Only the best for the airship of Erebonia's most powerful noble, I suppose.
I have to admit, the fragrance is like no tea I've ever had before. You're right, though. It makes sense if it's something Duke Cayenne personally chose.
Oh? I was under the impression that your family is a part of the nobility, too. Your father is a baron, isn't he?
He might be a noble, but generally barons aren't all that wealthy. We live a relatively modest lifestyle.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have thought it before, but maybe my family was actually more well off than yours.
And Scarlet, I heard she lost her old hometown when he went and built a railway through it.
What kind of family did you come from then?
Oh, they weren't nobles, if that's what you're wondering. They were just relatively wealthy farmers. We were almost local celebrities in a way.
Oh, I see.
You're wondering how someone like me became a terrorist? It's written all over your face.
Well, I can't deny that I'm curious. I heard that you lost your hometown because Osborn built a railway through it.
Oh, did C tell you? No, I suppose it must have been V. He never was one to keep quiet about things.
So, I mean, what happened?
Some things are best left unsaid, I think. It's not as if knowing would somehow allow you to change things.
I suppose.
You're so adorable, Reen. Now I know why C took a liking to you. What do you say? How about you come and fight with me and the other big girls and boys? It'll be fun, I promise.
Please, stop teasing me. Anyway, thank you for the tea. It wasn't just made with high-quality leaves. It was brewed exceptionally, too.
You're very welcome.
Oh, actually, I may as well ask while I have the chance. Where did you learn how to use that weapon of yours anyway? It's pretty unique.
Oh, that? I suppose it can't hurt to tell you. The holy city of Arteria.
The Arteria? Where the high seat of the Septian Church is?
That's the one. It's called a Templar sword, and it's a traditional weapon in the church. A few years ago, I was studying to be a sister and was trained in how to use it there.
Surely you must be talking about some other church, right? You're telling me there are sisters in the Septian Church who use weapons like that?
There are more things in this world you don't know than you could possibly imagine. Well, it doesn't matter much now. I ended up returning to Erebonia before my training was complete.
Oh?
Anyway, that's all I'm telling you for now. I'll give you the full story if you decide to join us. Sound fair? And if you choose not to join, well, that way has its own charms, I suppose.
Yeah, you all get to kill him. Sounds like a plan.
She ended up being a lot friendlier than I expected her to be. I wonder how much of what she was saying about being a sister was true.
All of it?
She seemed to really hate the Chancellor. I wonder what she intends to do now that he's gone.
Yeah, that's probably sadder than you want to know, sir.
I can sense someone inside.
Yep.
Judging by the fact that S is in the next room.
Yep, it's probably V.
Huh? It's open. Come on in.
Excuse me.
Ah, it's you. You finished talking with C?
His name's Crow, not C, and he's never going to be anything else for me.
Oh, I know his real name. But to us, he's always gonna be C. That's our leader. You might be young, but each and every one of us look up to him and respect him. Anyway, take a seat. Got a whole lot of questions, I bet.
Does you asking that mean you're willing to answer them?
Depends on the questions.
Alright.
Just out of curiosity,
I will say I'm thrilled that all of this is voiced.
how many members does the Imperial Liberation Front have left? I know the explosion back in the mine was staged, obviously.
Sure was. Anyway, 10, give or take. We lost most of our members as soon as the war started kicking into gear.
Oh. Is that because the group's primary objective had been fulfilled?
Basically, yeah. We all came from different backgrounds, but the one thing we had in common was that we hated that bastard's guts. So after he'd kicked it, most of the guys didn't really have any reason for sticking around. Can't say I blame them for calling it quits.
Crow said that seeing this war through to its end was the last part of his game. Are the members who haven't left sticking around for similar reasons?
Interesting question. Can't speak for the others, but me, I don't really care how this war goes. I mean, I'm a former Jaeger who can hold his own in a fight. I've always lived for war. And teaching those dumbasses in the provincial armies how to pilot soldats is a job worth doing, even if it's a pain. If we disband, I'll find myself something else to do.
I see. I can't defend the assassination of the Chancellor or what you did near Trista, but I'd be happy if you chose to disband at least.
You're a funny kid. Being oddly nice to us after all the shit we caused, don't you think?
The cycle of hatred's gone on for long enough. Crimes you've committed will never vanish, but no one wants this war to go on longer than it has to. It's not as though you guys want war, do you?
That's enough of the niceties. You've got time to worry about us. Use it to worry about yourself. Whether you choose to side with the Alliance or go against them, you've got a tough road ahead, whether you like it or not. Make sure to think long and hard before you decide. And if we end up as enemies again, show me what you got. On the battlefield, I mean.
Excuse me.
Think I might have been too harsh on the kid. Still... yeah. He's probably perfect for the job.
Wonder what job they have in mind.
He saw right through me. He's not wrong, though. I should be worrying about myself right now. He seemed kind of different, though. Like he'd lost his spark. His sole objective in life seemed to be to get revenge for his old Jaeger Corps killed by Osborn. Maybe he's just not sure what to do with himself now that he's done just that?
You do worry an awful lot about your enemies, don't you? Oh, Phantom Thief B!
Good day to you, Reinschwarzer.
What the? You're the Phantom Thief! You sure look comfortable. What are you doing here?
Ha ha! Why wouldn't I be? I'm as much a guest on this ship as you are. And who would deny themselves the pleasure of a ship so beautiful? The furnishings are immaculate. The food and wine are positively sumptuous. And I am of the firm belief that it's wasteful not to take advantage of the opportunities life presents you. Ah, and speaking of opportunities, don't just stand there. Take a seat and join me in having a drink. You've been blessed with the rare chance to sit and chat one-on-one with the most beloved thief of our time.
I can't believe that's how you describe yourself.
Right?
Well, what the hell. I'll have a drink. Nothing alcoholic, though. Funny. I didn't realize you'd met Prince Olivert.
Ha! Indeed. There are few even among royals whose palate is so refined as his. Between our shared love of beauty and fundamental difference of opinion on the nature of love, he forever remains an endless source of entertainment for me.
I suddenly feel very sorry for him. What happened down in Liberl sounds pretty amazing, though. I'd heard there were problems with orbital technology in southern Erebonia at the time, but I had no idea that was why.
Ha ha! That magnificent floating city was quite the sight to behold, let me tell you. Oh, how I wish I could have shown it to you. It would have changed your view of the world completely.
It really does sound amazing. Wait, why am I sitting here having a friendly discussion with a wanted criminal? He has so many interesting and unusual stories, I got completely caught up listening to them.
Ha ha! A thief of my caliber can steal much more than objects read. There. I was able to steal much of your time and your interest. Perhaps I stole your heart as well?
Not quite.
Rest assured that did not happen. Your stories were interesting, though, I'll admit. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know where Prince Olivert is now, would you? Last I checked, he wasn't actively fighting against the Alliance.
Ha ha! I imagine Duke Cayenne would welcome a man like the Prince with open arms into the Alliance, if he so wished to join. To my knowledge, he was always wary of the Chancellor himself. But I digress. I'm afraid not even I know where he is at the moment. However, I'm inclined to believe that wherever he's hiding, the Crimson Wings is there with him.
So the Courageous is missing too, then. Although the Duke's got some nerve if he expects Prince Olivert to side with him after he imprisoned the rest of the Imperial family.
But think, these kinds of things are simply what the great nobles of this country have always done. The War of the Lions, too, was brought about by numerous families of some standing backing potential successors to the throne. Emperor Dreichels, as a late arrival to the war, was a mere exception to the rule. I wonder, does Prince Olivert think himself as the second coming of Dreichels?
One of which is to bring the winds of change to Thor's military academy. A gust of fresh air, if you will. I'll admit, I hesitated to allow it, but I decided to place my hopes in you. We believed then, as we still do, that one day, you all will be a great light that can push back the darkness of this country.
I don't think he does. From what I can tell, he intends to try and end this war in a slightly different way from Dreichels.
Oh? Do tell.
Sorry, but I should be going. Thanks for all the interesting stories. They helped me work through things in my head a bit.
Ha ha! I'm pleased to hear it.
Did he just put the mask on?
I will be waiting at the edge of my seat to hear which path you choose. Join us, and you'll be warmly welcomed. Naturally, I'm fascinated by you as the Ashen Knight's pilot, but I'm even more fascinated with that brute strength of yours. I would love the chance to see the power of an ogre up close.
I doubt it's half as interesting as what you're thinking. Anyway, if you'll excuse me. I wonder who's in here.
We got a visitor?
Come on in.
Excuse me.
Hey, it's two people. Oh, it's Fee's family.
Figured it was you. Sup?
Have a seat. Bourbon?
Yeah, I really shouldn't. How come you guys are being so friendly, though? I mean, we're on opposing sides and all.
Why wouldn't we be? It's not like we're on a battlefield right now. We're Jaegers. Nothing unusual about us trying to cut some throats one day than sitting in a bar with the same guys the next.
Of course. If you would rather fight with us, that can be arranged.
I shall have to politely decline. For one thing, I don't think I'd stand the slightest chance of taking you two down.
Hey now, no need to be so pessimistic. Fee seems to think pretty highly of you. Have a little more faith in yourself.
At the very least, you'd be able to give us a real fight in your Divine Knight. Not that I'd have any intention of losing even then.
The scary thing is, I'm pretty sure he's dead serious. Well, they're used to taking out tanks. They probably have their ways.
Huh. Oh, yeah? Ranking 72nd for the year in an academy full of big shot students ain't half bad. Brings a tear to my eye to see our little Fee putting her heart into her education.
And don't forget, she was the youngest of her classmates, too. The boss was right when he said that she can do anything she puts her mind to.
You got that right. Maybe joining the gardening club will make her a bit more ladylike, too. Oh, who am I kidding?
She's still young. She has plenty of time to develop on that front if she so pleases.
They really seem to adore her. Like two proud parents talking about their child. And yet... If you don't mind me asking, why did you leave Fee behind? After your boss was killed in a battle with his sworn enemy, I mean.
Oh, Fee told you about that. It sounds like you're closer to her than I thought you were.
I trust this is simply me being paranoid. But you haven't tried making any moves on her, have you?
That's funny.
No, of course not. I wouldn't dream of it. I just want to know why you'd abandon her when she obviously means so much to the two of you. She thought of you all like family. Why did you leave her all alone?
Well... We had our reasons. Let's leave it at that. I know you want to know, but you're not the one we should be telling that to.
We'll be sure to tell Fee our reasons in due time. Until then, leave the issue be.
Alright. I can accept that. Still, she's our classmate. In that sense, she's like family to me, to us, too. And we feel that way about her just as strongly as you do, if not more so. I want to be perfectly clear on that.
Fighting words right there.
Still, we'll remember you said that. Returning to the matter at hand, you're sure you haven't tried to make any moves on her?
Come on, spit it out.
They really are like two overprotective fathers.
Would he sneak out after that? We're gonna go ahead and finish these conversations.
About what Zephyr is up to. All we did was talk about Fee the whole time. Oh well. At least now I know that the guys in Zephyr really cared about her, so it wasn't a complete waste of time.
I'm gonna go ahead and finish all of these conversations down here, and we will go up to the second floor in the next episode.
Having to travel to and from Crossbell like this is utterly exhausting. No, I mustn't complain. I'm doing this for the sake of my lord.
She sounds awfully familiar.
Who goes there? Wait! You're the Ashen Knight's pilot!
I remember you now. You're with Ouroboros. Duvali the Swift, right?
Have you no shame? Is it perhaps normal for you to barge into a lady's room unannounced? You and that Arseid are only as bad as each other, I swear! Learn your place!
Actually, I just walked through the door normally. I should have probably knocked before I came in, though. Sorry about that.
She doesn't like us too much, does she? And then she put her armor on.
So, now that we're understood, what do you want? Have you come to tell me that you'll be fighting on our side after all?
Can you not jump to conclusions? Besides, it's not like you're working with the Alliance because you agree with what they're doing.
Oh, naturally. Lady Clotilde seems to have a purpose of her own. But for my part, I have no obligation to help the Alliance whatsoever. I'm simply cooperating because I was told doing so was necessary to the plan.
Plan? I'm not sure what she's getting at. Just so we're clear, that lord you keep mentioning isn't Vita Clotilde, is it?
No. She may be an Anguis like her, but my lord is the seventh, not the second. She is the leader of the Stahlritter, the great light which guides us. Gallant yet beautiful, proud yet merciful. She's the strongest knight of all. And oh, she's simply divine.
Well, you've made it clear how great you think she is. So the head of the Stahlritter is also a woman?
She certainly is. And if you must know, 100 swordsmen of your strength couldn't hope to equal her. No, 1,000, even 10,000 of you wouldn't be able to so much as scratch her.
Okay, I get it. She's strong. Still, if she's a woman who could be described as the strongest knight of all, Laura already noticed the similarity between the Eisenritter and Stahlritter, but she really does sound like Saint Sandlot.
I see I've got you thinking. Incidentally, I may have already mentioned her title, but one can never share my lord's glory too many times. She's known as the Steel Maiden.
The Steel Maiden, huh?
And with that, I believe that's enough idle chatter. If you didn't come to tell me that you'll be fighting on our side, then we remain enemies. As such, we shouldn't be standing here being friendly with one another.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Sorry for bothering you. Actually, there was one more thing I wanted to ask. You're not an enforcer like Blue Blanc or Sharon, right? Is there any reason for that?
You just had to ask. Enforcers are selected by the Society's leader, the Grandmaster. And in order to be selected as one and given a number, that person needs to be burdened by some kind of darkness. But just so we're clear, there is no correlation between having a number and one's strength, alright? I'm quite strong.
I didn't say you weren't, but it makes perfect sense. You don't strike me as someone who's carrying any kind of darkness with you. You're refreshingly sincere. Like someone who hates anything that strays from the path of righteousness.
I'll thank you not to spout such nauseating drivel in my presence. Now get the hell out of my room!
She chased me out. I'm really curious about the Steel Maiden. Could she really have some connection with the Lance Maiden? Perhaps even with the woman who helped us during our August field study.
Maybe.
I can sense someone inside. What the?
Wow, not even knocking. Why don't you just walk right in?
Oh, it's you. Forgot you were staying here too.
Yeah. What was that? It's gone now anyway. Maybe it was just my imagination.
So what's up? I couldn't give a damn whether you joined the Alliance or not, to be honest.
Oh, I didn't come here for any specific reason.
Interesting. You mixed by any chance?
Could I sit and talk to you for a while?
What a pain in the ass. So, what do you want to ask?
When we ran into each other back near Bereahard, you asked a weird question. Something about being mixed?
Oh, that?
I didn't have the chance to figure out what that meant at the time. But what did you mean?
Don't know if I can even explain that one. It's just something you feel. What we've got mixed into us is obviously different in strength and nature. It's kind of hard to put into words.
Yeah, seems that way. I know you're not trying to confuse me on purpose, but I really can't wrap my head around what you're saying.
Just watch.
Huh?
There's no trick to it. I'm not using an ornament, it's not magic. And I'm not using an artifact either. I just will fire to appear, and it does.
So it's just a totally unnatural ability.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Something that just gives you results, without the processes you'd usually have to go through to obtain them. You've got one too, right?
Well, true. That power of mine wasn't something I gained from training. I don't even know where the power itself is coming from.
It's the same kind of thing. People who can do things like that usually have something mixed into them. Something foreign, unnatural, mixed into their body itself. Different to the church's stigmas. Looks like a pretty small part of it in your case, though.
Oh.
There, huh? Anyway, I couldn't tell you how, where, or why whatever it is got mixed into you. Sure you've got more questions, but sorry. I can't answer them.
No, it's okay. You've answered enough already. I feel like I understand myself a little better now, actually.
Good for you, I guess. So, we done now?
Yeah. Thanks for your time. Oh yeah. So how much of you is unnatural?
Me? All of me.
Well, that was creepy.
His circumstances seem very different from mine. Guess all I can do is remember what he said. Maybe there will come a time when it'll all make sense. I'm sure one day I'll find out what this power of mine is. What the story behind me being given this power as a kid is. One day.
Alright, one more to go through.
Huh? I think I can sense someone inside. Given the circumstances, I imagine it must be one of the people who fought us in Ymir.
I like how he just stopped knocking.
Huh? It's open. It's empty. Weird. I could have sworn I sensed someone in here. Oh.
Oh look, Black Rabbit.
Looking at her lying down like this, she really is just a child. Maybe 12 or 13? Somewhere close to Milliam's age. How did a kid like this end up fighting with the Alliance?
Who are you? Who's calling me?
Is she talking in her sleep?
Situation assessed. Location is a room inside the guest area of the Pentagrul. 9 hours have passed since initial loss of consciousness.
Guess she's sleeping comfortably enough here. Then again, she needs it at her age. She's got plenty of growing left. Wait.
Huh?
Good morning?
Reen Schwarzer. Why are you here? Unless my memories have been tampered with, I believe this room was solely allocated to me.
Oh, it was. Sorry. If I'd known you were sleeping, I wouldn't have come in here.
So you're an intruder then? Clown Soleus.
No, it was just an innocent mistake. Whoa! Can we at least talk about this?
No mercy for trespassers. So you claim to have no inappropriate motives for sneaking into this room.
Not claim! I really didn't!
But once you walked in,
You fell victim to temptation and chose to act in accordance to your desires.
Jesus.
No, I didn't! How many times do I have to explain what happened before you'll believe me?
I was making a joke. Had you any intention of harming me, Clown Soleus would have attacked you. That he didn't proves your innocence.
Oh, right. Then what was all that for? Oh, whatever. I suppose it's my own fault for coming in without permission. Anyway, I've cleared my name. I'll see you some other time, probably.
If that's what you want to do, you didn't come to ask me anything then?
Well, no. Honestly, I didn't even know you were in here. I do have a lot I'd like to ask you, though. And just as much I'd like to say to you. Okay, if you're offering, what are your reasons for helping the Alliance? Why do you have a puppet just like Milliam's? Just who are you?
The answer to your first question is, I was ordered to do so. As all information regarding Clown Soleus is confidential, I am unable to answer your second question. And as for the last one, I am unable to fully comprehend the depth of your question.
Oh, forget it. You abducted my sister and the princess. Whether you were ordered to or not doesn't change that. And it's not something I think I can forgive. See you around. Sorry, that was probably too harsh. I can't pretend to know anything about your circumstances, but I do know that you didn't abduct them of your own free will. Anyway, with that said, I'll be going. Maybe we'll have a chance to talk again sometime.
The Black Workshop.
What?
That's the name of the place I belong to. It was they who loaned me to the Noble Alliance. Unless you choose to join the Alliance, that is the most I'm able to disclose to you.
The name doesn't ring any bells. And loaned? That makes it sound like... I suppose it's none of my business. Thanks for telling me. I'll be sure to remember that name.
I can't see doing so holding any real purpose for you. Incidentally, did you have any untoward motives behind what you just did?
No, I did not.
Jeez. She's a riot, isn't she?
The Black Workshop? Loaned?
Yeah, she's property.
Sounds like stuff worth remembering.
Alright, so our next stop is the upper floor. This should be exciting. Next Tuesday. So I'm unfortunately going to leave it here. I appreciate everyone for hanging out with me. I want to say thank you to Dorian, Lux, Zanky, I think, and Vertigog. I don't know if you're still here or not, but thanks for hanging out. And I will see you all next time. Let's see, actually, I think I got someone I can raid. Let me see, what do we have here? We have raid channels. Oh, nope, the person I thought I could raid isn't on, so oh well, she must have decided not to. So I will see you all next time.